Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Monday, July 28, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, BSCFA and two Caneros ordered to pay over $500,000 for 2021 blockade. Disagreement over communal Maya lands persists. Appellants consider further legal action. Police officer killed in hit and run outside Belize. And will Belize's age of consent be raised to 18? We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
B-Box offers Benny's customers the opportunity to earn points on their purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities, such as Best Manufacturing, Benquip, Island Freight Forwarders, Benny's Contractor and Lumberyard, and B-Mart. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbox.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Box. Brought to you by Benny's, quality and savings.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank. Building the future together.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet and Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
This summer, your Wednesdays just got better. Join your Belize City Council for the Midweek Wind Down Series. A new relaxing evening of wine, cheese, live jazz, and spoken word. It's your midweek escape happening Wednesday, July 30th at City Hall Square on Regent and Albert Streets from 5:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Bring your friends, sip, connect, and unwind in the heart of downtown Belize City. Want to be a part of the action? Secure your booth space by calling the Public Relations Department at 280-2308, extension 238, or message us on WhatsApp at 673-9055. Let's unwind together. Your Belize City Council. Always vote the people.
Measles is a virus that is highly infectious and spreads through the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. It often starts with a fever, cough, runny nose, and red, watery eyes, followed by a rash that spreads all over the body. Measles can cause serious complications. But here's the good news. Measles is preventable. The safest and most effective way to protect your child is through vaccination. The MMR vaccine is safe and available at your nearest health centers and clinics. Let's keep our families and communities safe. Get vaccinated. Stay protected. Brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness in partnership with PAHO and UNICEF.
Belize introduced its new electronic passport in 2022 through the launch of the Electronic Passport Issuance and Control System, EPICS. The e-passport includes an electronic chip that safeguards the holder's personal information and photograph. It also features a verification mechanism compatible with biometric systems such as smart gates at international borders. The passport's design reflects national pride, showcasing Belizean landmarks and symbols. It incorporates 26 modern security elements to prevent fraud and corruption. The introduction of the e-passport aims to enhance security, improve processing efficiency, and reduce application backlogs, benefiting Belizeans both domestically and abroad. The Ministry of Immigration, strengthening national sovereignty, security, and socio-economic development.
Get ready for the Igbo Town Festival 2025. The National Celebrations Commission, in collaboration with the Belize City Council and the National Institute of Culture and History, invites you to the annual Igbo Town Festival 2025. Join us after the official Emancipation Day ceremony on Friday, August 1st at the Isaiah Mortar Square, Albert Street West, from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Bring out the entire family for a day filled with live entertainment, cultural displays and handicrafts, an educational emancipation tour, plenty of food and drinks, a free kids zone featuring face painting, cotton candy, snow cones, bouncy house, and trampoline, and more. Want to be a part of the action? Secure your booth space today by calling 280-2308, extension 263, or message us on WhatsApp at 673-9055. So mark your calendars, Friday, August 1st from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the Isaiah Mortar Square. Let's celebrate freedom, culture, and community together. See you there.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. The Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association and 2 cane farmers have been ordered to pay a combined total of $564,130 in damages to Belize Sugar Industries and Belize Cogeneration Energy Limited for damages resulting from a 3-day blockade in December 2021. In addition, they must pay legal fees plus interest at 6% since January 1, 2022. The cane farmers used their trucks to block the entrance of BSI beginning on December 28, 2021. BSI sued for loss of earnings and operational disruption during the 3-day shutdown. The cane farmers are Pablo Burgos and Canuto Alpuche. 2 other cane farmers, Fortunato Gonzalez and Doroteo Correa Jr., were released from the litigation. There were 2 claims, one from BSI and the other from Belcogen. The award for BSI is $520,674, while for Belcogen, it is $43,456. The judgment was delivered today. Notably, BSI and Belcogen had sought $1.65 million in damages. The blockade occurred at the time BSCFA and BSI were negotiating a new commercial agreement. At the time, the Prime Minister had pledged to indemnify the BSCFA if it was sued and offered to provide legal representation for the association. In that vein, the BSCFA and cane farmers were defended by Deputy Solicitor General Samantha Matute and others. The claimants are being represented by Senior Counsel Godfrey Smith, Hector Guerra, and Edgar Lord. It remains to be seen whether the government will honor its indemnity pledge. At Friday's monitoring hearing by the Caribbean Court of Justice (CCJ) for the Maya land rights case, the appellants for the first time indicated that they may consider taking further legal action as it relates to enforcement of the 2015 consent order. As we shared on Friday, the government and the appellants remain at odds over the Maya customary land tenure policy and how Maya communal land is identified. The government has proposed a formula of an initial number of acres per village depending on the population size, and then requiring the communities to prove 30-year occupation beyond that. The appellants insist that this is not in keeping with international standards. Here is attorney Leslie Mendez.
There is a decision that has been made that for the areas beyond the automatic area, that would be the recognized area, there should be a stricter threshold, stricter on the basis of what, Your Honor. I think that is the concern. There has now been a criteria that has been imposed for the communities to be able to show 30 years long-standing use and undisturbed possession and occupation of the lands. We fundamentally disagree that in fact is how you go about demarcating these lands. And we have attempted to engage in perhaps what is more of a legal debate with the government as to how we interpret the decisions of the court as well as the international standards, that the 30 years as a burden that the communities would have to meet, as opposed to an identification of where lands are being used and occupied now in accordance with my customary land tenure, is what we say should be the position. So I think more than just the formulaic approach for the first step, the core of the contention really is perhaps not a misunderstanding, but perhaps a difference of views on the nature of the exercise that we're engaging on.
In particular, Mendez shared that one of the matters that may require litigation is the management and control of forest reserves and national parks. Here is the exchange in court with the government's attorney, Senior Counsel Andrew Marshallek.
Currently, the policy excludes entirely Maya customary lands over protected areas. Our position is, Your Honor, that is not in keeping with the case law in this country, and it's also not in keeping with the international standards that do not, in fact, hold that creation of a protected area in and of itself extinguishes Maya customary land rights over those areas.
Your Honor, Maya customary land tenure is a collection of rights And the entire collection of rights are not to be recognized in national parks and reserves in accordance with the existing policy as drafted. But a subset of those rights are recognized. It's recognized in the form of special dispensation to be given in the legislation for use and enjoyment of those spaces by indigenous communities. So while it is true to say that the policy in its terms ousts a recognition of Maya customary land tenure from lands comprising national parks and reserves, it is not true to say that the policy ignores the interest of the indigenous community in continued use and enjoyment of those spaces, but in a way that is more limited than the fullness of Maya customary land. For instance, it could be limited to the extraction of resources for subsistence, but not for commercial reasons. And there are further limitations on how indigenous communities can use these spaces. But they're given a special right to use these spaces that other members of the public don't have, which gives rise to other difficulties. But from our perspective, and the point that I'm trying to make, is that while the entire set of rights comprising Maya customary land tenure are not recognized, a substantial portion of it will be.
I think one of the main rights that are being not recognized within these areas is the right to manage and control them. That is a serious concern for the communities, Your Honor. If they would have the right to use them, they would only have the right to use what is there while others make decisions as to their availability and how they are sustained. So I do appreciate that there has been some partial recognition of use rights over those areas, but our position still remains that the full scope of Maya customary land tenure still need to be recognized within its protected areas. But we have indicated to my learned senior, as well as other members of the subcommittee, that is a point that we would like to engage in discussions to see how we could be more creative with how we manage these areas for the interest of all in terms of sustainability, Your Honors. But at the end of the day, we would not be, we won't be deadlocked in terms of this, in terms of this particular concern, because I think perhaps it would require litigation on this point, Your Honor. It's a heavily legal point. It's a heavy legal point, Your Honor. So it's not something that we are belaboring with the government.
The court itself has already indicated that after the Maya customary land tenure policy has been finalized, it will decide on future accompaniment of the process. The monitoring hearings would have dragged on for a decade in October this year. Marshall-elect reported that the final draft of the policy should have received cabinet approval by the end of August. The parties will then report back to the CCJ on September 18. The appellants recently met with the respective cabinet subcommittee, and they say they are hopeful of being able to influence the process enough to avoid further litigation.
I continue to have some optimism that perhaps we might be making some progress in influencing the policy so that we might, as the court has identified, minimize possible litigation. I appreciate what my learned senior is saying with respect to there are many instances around the world where this type of legislation is caught up in the courts. But I would think that we have the benefit of those lessons learned, Your Honors. And we, in my humble estimation, is that that legislation all around the world has been caught up in the courts due to an irrational resistance from governments to really embrace the international standards and human rights standards with respect to indigenous people's rights. I would continue to urge the government first to avoid that and to not face the same pitfalls that other countries have had, and not simply take on a more defeatist attitude that no matter what we do, we'll end up in court. We don't want to be in court, Your Honor. The communities don't have endless resources to be in courts. So our approach certainly has been one that has attempted as much as we can to avoid litigation. There have been many things on the ground that would have taken to court that is not necessarily directly relevant to the implementation partners, but just in terms of the Maya communities. So we don't want to go to court and we don't want to be in court. We do want to get to a good piece of legislation, not necessarily a perfect one. Our position is that what the policy proposes is simply not good with respect to certain core elements, Your Honor.
The police department has lost one of their own in a road traffic accident that occurred after 1 this morning. 38-year-old police constable Arsenio Cus of Silver Creek, Toledo, was driving his motorcycle towards Belize City, and on reaching between miles 6 and 7 on the Philip Golson Highway, a black vehicle reportedly veered into his lane, hitting his motorcycle. Cus fell to the pavement and sustained fatal injuries. ACP Gilberto Romero said it was a hit and run.
Okay, around 1:30 a.m. this morning, police responded to a fatal road traffic accident between miles 5 and 6 on the Philip Golson Highway. Upon their arrival, they saw a motorcycle with damages and other debris. There they found the lifeless body of Arsenio Cus, police constable attached to Ladyville with severe injuries. He was taken to the KHMH for treatment, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Investigations that Cus was riding his motorcycle towards Belize City when a vehicle struck him and causing his fatal injuries. We are currently on investigation. So far, we have nobody in custody, as the person involved fled from the scene.
Was he wearing a helmet?
I do not know at this time. I will need to check.
What kind of vehicle was it?
We do not know what type of vehicle. That is all the information we have. He was on his motorcycle when he was struck.
Do you guys have any idea on where exactly he was coming from in terms of the exact location?
He was coming from Ladyville.
And he was traveling alone?
He was traveling alone at the time.
In other news, as we have been reporting, the University of Belize Faculty and Staff Union has been pressuring the government for months to fulfill their promise of increasing UB's subvention from the current $7.6 million to the promised $10 million. They were also promised that this total would increase by $1 million each year thereafter. On July 15, the UBFSU protested in front of the Prime Minister's office in Belmopan, threatening industrial action. The Ministry of Finance last week wrote to UB's Board of Directors informing that the PM has approved an increase in the subvention, but only for $1.1 million, which would take the total to $8.7 million. Another $1.3 million would be required to reach the $10 million being demanded. The UBFSU has not yet publicly commented on the reported subvention increase. After the break, Minister of Human Development condemns reported sexual assault on minors. Stay with us.
On July 10, 2025, Belize Electricity Limited and Blair Atoll Power Company Limited signed a historic power purchase agreement for the development of a 15-megawatt utility-scale solar plant, complete with a 1.5 megawatt, 3 megawatt-hour battery storage system. This project represents a significant milestone in building a cleaner, more sustainable, and resilient electricity grid.
Today's signing is the furthest we have ever come down the road of realizing the needed facilities and our own ambitions for harnessing the power of the sun. This PPA provides a model in which everybody, BEL, Babcock, and consumers win, and that is how it should be. We have every confidence that BAPCOL can and will bring this project home, and BEL publicly offers whatever support it can to realize this goal.
What we learn here will set the foundation for future projects, including solar, wind, hybrid systems, and even other emerging developing technologies, renewable energy technologies, that Belize will need if we are going to remain competitive and resilient.
BEL and BAPCOL will collaborate closely to develop and commission the plant within 12 to 18 months from the start of construction. Once operational, the solar plant will supply clean, renewable energy directly to the national grid, strengthening Belize's energy security and diversifying our national energy mix.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Tired of appliances that just don't last? Appliances that just can't keep up? It's time for a change. GE Appliances delivers reliability, innovation, and performance you can trust. The decision is easy. Don't settle for less. Choose quality, choose reliability, choose GE.
Dara Home Theater and Red Stripe presents the 16th annual Lucky Dube Tribute and Concert.
People dying like flies every day.
This event is to be held at the Big Bird's Isle Sunday, August 3rd, starting at 4 p.m. until midnight. Entertainment includes live DVD performance from Lucky Dube on the big screen. Selectors include Reggae Dutch, International Tully G, Brass Protege, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band. Live performance from the Creek Vibrations Band doing a special Lucky Dube tribute. And a special live performance from Man at Work, Terrell Godoy. Don't miss the date, Sunday, August 3rd, Big Bird's Isle. Entrance fee, only $15. Bring out the entire family. You definitely don't want to miss this one. The annual Lucky Dube Tribute and Concert. Sponsors include Creme Radio, XTV, Vibes Media and Television, Channel 5, Channel 7, Digi Wallet, Hoyer's Distillery, Honorable Anthony Mahler, Love FM, Angela's Press Limited, Niche, Belize Tourism Board.
sea una persona ocupada o atrapada en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que le va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
Planning a trip to Belize? Here's how to complete your I Declare Arrival form in 5 easy steps. Step 1. Visit belizetravel.immigration.gov.bz. Step 2. Select the appropriate forms for arrivals. Choose Arriving to Belize. Step 3. Provide your origin trip details, including your departure airport and country of residence. Step 4. Carefully complete the immigration form. Add dependents if necessary, declare baggage, currency, and merchandise, and confirm your entries are correct. Step 5. Download your completed form and take a screenshot of your QR code and reference ID to present to the immigration officer. Thank you for using Belize iTravel. Safe journey.
There has been an increase in the reports of alleged sexual assault cases involving minors recently. Minister of Human Development, Honorable Drea Garcia Ramirez, on Friday condemned such actions and says that her ministry is calling for all of these reports to be investigated. Garcia Ramirez said it does not matter who is allegedly involved. All who commit such crimes should be held accountable.
I think there's, over the last week or two, we've seen so many cases involving minors and sexual and physical abuse. First of all, I want to ask the public and the media to be very careful on how they share information, because oftentimes sharing the name and face of the perpetrator will lead you to know who the victim is. So a lot of times the authorities and even the ministry will not share the names of the perpetrators, not because we want to shield them, but because we are trying to safeguard the dignity and the integrity of the victim. That being said, it is my position, and I believe the position of the ministry and the greater government, that all of these allegations must be investigated, no matter who it is, no matter who they're against. It should not matter whether the person was a government official, what his social status is. They must all be investigated, and in addition to that, I think that once investigation is complete, let the chips fall where they must, because this is a pandemic now in Belize. It is widespread. What I am glad for, though, that it seems that the general public is now more able to express, and you see more reports, and so they're not keeping it back, because let us be honest, these things have always occurred in Belize, and it is just now that people are saying, no, enough of that. We need to report and hold these people accountable.
In the case of former Ambassador Said Guerra, who is accused of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old boy, Garcia Ramirez said she has seen the interviews but refrained from commenting on the actual case. She did say that such cases involved an imbalance of power.
I reserve my judgment because obviously this is an ongoing investigation by the police and they are allegations. But there are many times when we look at the situations and there is what we call an imbalance of power. When somebody has had authority, such as a teacher and a student, there's a clear imbalance of power there, and that is what we can say clearly. There may be some abuse. When, for example, it's a boss and an employee, those are imbalances of power where we have to be very, very careful how we manage even what you would want to say are consensual relationships, because the imbalance of power makes it very tricky. So when there is somebody of a higher authority or power and they involve themselves with someone that is under their direct authority, then this is where it leads to a lot of problems. And this is why there's many agencies, many government offices, and even private employers discourage inter-office relationships and all of those things to avoid all those problems, to avoid all those misunderstandings.
Garcia Ramirez reminded Belizeans to be kind when commenting on criminal cases that are sensitive, particularly those that involve sexual assault. She says that oftentimes harsh judgmental comments can affect the victim and can lead to charges being dropped.
I see a lot of judgment as well. I think that we should wait for the police to finish their investigation, and charges have been levied already. And I am hoping that the victims, all the victims in all of these cases, hold fast to their word and allow all of these cases to go to the courts and have the courts decide on the evidence presented. A lot of times, due to the media frenzy, victims and people who have reported these crimes feel very overwhelmed by all the stuff that is said, because they read as well, they have social media, and so a lot of times you will see them withdrawing complaints because they just cannot stand the public pressure of all that is being said. So I want to ask that if we want to see justice prevail, that we measure our comments, that we understand that when we are saying all these things and typing all of these things, that there are real people on the other end, and my heart always goes out to the people that are affected by this.
Last November, the Marriage Amendment Bill passed, raising the legal age for marriage from 16 to 18. There were also discussions on whether the age of consent should also be raised to 18. On Friday, Minister of Human Development Honorable Drea Garcia Ramirez was asked if the matter is still being discussed. She said that while she would agree to the change, consultations would need to be done.
I would really like to, me personally, but it's not only me. We had a very difficult time, and in some sectors and some organizations did have a pushback to us raising the age for marriage, as a matter of fact. From 16 with parental consent to 18, and now even with parental consent, you can't allow children to marry. There are other countries around us, Mexico most notably, who the age of consent and the age of marriage and everything else is 18. So you're an adult when you're an adult, and that's when these things can happen. Unfortunately, there's also the thought that people are going to do whatever they want, whether or not the law allows or disallows it. But certainly I believe the longer children wait to start their engaging in sexual activities, the safer it is for them. You know, the more clarity of thought that can be had. And so I am of the opinion that the longer young people wait, the better it is for them, because they're able to make better decisions.
Last Thursday, the former ambassador to Cuba and former banking mayor, 50-year-old Said Badi Guerra, was charged with sexual assault, harm, and procuring defilement by threats, following a report filed by a 16-year-old boy. Guerra, who is now a high school teacher, vehemently denies the accusations. Guerra was granted bail. The victim and his relatives publicly spoke against that decision. Today, ACP Gilberto Romero told the media that the accused say the abuse occurred over a period of time.
Okay, based on an investigation carried out after a report was made, Said Guerra was arrested and charged for sexual assault, harm, and procuring defilement by threat. He was taken to court where he was granted bail.
And these incidents are reported to have happened over a period of time too? Or?
Yeah, that is correct, yeah.
In other court news, one of the matters that arise in the Maya Land Rights Consent Order implementation is how the government addresses third-party land rights and land considered customary Maya land. The intention is that third parties whose land is located within the automatically recognized customary Maya land will see their rights extinguished and will require compensation from the government. For the appellants, the contention is what occurs with third parties who have rights outside of those areas, which the Maya also consider customary land. Here again is Leslie Mendez, one of the appellant's attorneys.
Outside of that recognized area now, it is the party who is able to show 30 years use and occupation, undisturbed use and occupation, whose title will prevail. And that is, as I understand it, the approach to resolving third-party claims. Our approach, Your Honor, seeks to, I think, I think perhaps protect even more the process, if I might say so, because we want to emphasize that each claim should be determined on a case-by-case basis so that we don't then have any issues with respect to due process rights of third parties within the area. We also take the position that to simply look at a time requirement does not inure to the benefit of ultimately what the decisions are about, which is to maintain the collective of the village. The land might have spiritual purposes, Your Honor, spiritual significance. The land might be very near to the only water resource. The particular third party perhaps has been not a friend of the village, not wanting in the past necessarily to maintain a peaceful relationship with the village. So our approach is, in order to strike a balance of justice, using the language of the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, that it be determined on a case-by-case basis, bearing in mind certain considerations, Your Honor, such as, for instance, when the third party was able to get title to the land. Obviously, the earlier he or she was able to get title, the stronger their claim would be.
The proposal is that there be a tribunal that will decide who has rights to the land. In more police news, a Belize City man is recovering from gunshot injuries after he was shot on Central American Boulevard after 5 Sunday morning. According to reports, 24-year-old Wayne Welch, a Belizean construction worker, was standing in front of Sun-led service when he was approached by 2 men on a motorcycle. The passenger then reportedly dismounted and a scuffle broke out between him and Welch. The passenger was armed and Welch was shot during the altercation. Welch then reportedly wrestled the firearm away from the passenger and fired back at him. The passenger then jumped back on the motorcycle and both men fled the scene. ACP Gilberto Romero told the media today that police have 1 person in custody in relation to this incident.
Upon the arrival, they learned that a male person had been shot. He was identified as Wayne Welch. He was taken to the KHMH for treatment. Investigation revealed that Welch was at Central American Boulevard when 2 persons came there on a motorcycle. One came off and fired shots. There was a struggle between Wayne Welch and the person firing the shots. And the person firing the shots was disarmed by Welch, and he took possession of the weapon. Police responded, they located the weapon. We have 1 person in custody in regards to this investigation. They have a misunderstanding over a female.
Turning now to the south, Nasli Somerville of Pomona is back in the news, being accused of embezzling funds. The 49-year-old accountant of Mid-South Investment Limited is alleged to have changed out a check of $10,000 for a lesser amount. Jenny Zabane of Mayan King Company, which is a sister company to the business where Somerville was employed, reported last Thursday that before giving the check to Somerville, she took a photograph of it. However, when she checked the banking account online, she realized that a check with a different series had been deposited. Upon further investigation, she discovered similar discrepancies with other deposits, leading her to believe that Somerville had been forging signatures on the deposited checks. Police obtained a warrant and conducted a search of Somerville's office, where they discovered 2 Heritage Bank checkbooks along with the original check recently issued by Zabane. On Friday, Somerville was formally arrested and charged with forgery and 3 counts of theft. ACP Gilberto Romero told the media that the forged checks were written in the past 2 weeks.
Then on Thursday, Jenny Zabane reported that upon making checks at the bank, she discovered that several checks had been forged and monies had been stolen from her company. An investigation was carried out. The checks were obtained, and since then the accountant for the business, namely Nasli Somerville, has been arrested and charged for theft and forgery.
The quantity?
A couple $1,000.
Sorry, did you say how far back it dates?
These checks were made out in the past 2 weeks.
Back in 2015, Somerville was dismissed from the Southern Regional Hospital as administrator after being accused of forging checks totaling some $367,000. After the break, controversial San Pedro Casino shut down. Stay tuned.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
Make every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
United Black Association for Development Educational Foundation, UEF, and Keep It Simply Organic, KISA, they have the 4th annual Brother Cliff Augustine Summer Film Photography Camp Community Exhibit Thursday night, July 31st, 2025, the UEF headquarters, 3304 Amandala Drive, behind the zinc fence, the Library of African and Indigenous Studies. On a come out, can support them black youths, then take them pictures of hair. We prints then start to sell from $25 Belize dollars to hundreds of dollars. So on come out, can support them youth. I have to pick up the community sponsors. We have one bunch of them. Brother Cliff and Elma Augustine family. The families and the students were conduct camp, swimming successfully and smiling swim school, the Placencia Village, and the swimming instructors. Angela's Press Limited, Barella's Auto Rental, Kim Grab and Go, XTV, Creme Radio, Amandala Newspaper, Mahogany, my sister, we use a vehicle, Saint Bite, Garifuna Youth Drummers. With driver, Kimathi, Keep It Simple Organic, Kisa, Uncle Sid from Art House Film Lab, and Black in Marine Science BIMS.
Darasaba Home Theater and Red Stripe presents the 16th annual Lucky Dube Tribute and Concert.
People dying like flies every day.
This event is to be held at the Big Bird's Isle Sunday, August 3rd, starting at 4 p.m. until midnight. Entertainment includes live DVD performance from Lucky Dube on the big screen. Selectors include Reggae Dutch, International Tony G, Brass Protege, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band. Live performance from the Creek Vibrations Band doing a special Lucky Dube tribute. And a special live performance from Man at Work, Terrell Godoy. Don't miss the date, Sunday, August 3rd, Big Bird's Isle. Entrance fee only $15. Bring out the entire family. You definitely don't want to miss this one. The annual Lucky Dube Tribute and Concert. Sponsors include Creme Radio, XTV, Vibes Media and Television, Channel 5, Channel 7, Digi Wallet, Hoyer's Distillery, Honorable Anthony Mahler, Love FM, Angela's Press Limited, Niche, Belize Tourism Board.
The hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? Get the essentials you need to stay safe this hurricane season, such as plywood, tarp and rope, first aid kit, rubber boots, raincoats and rain ponchos, generator, portable radio and batteries, flashlight and kerosene lanterns. Weather the storm with these products and more from Benny's. Quality and savings.
On Friday, the Ministry of Investment announced that GMK Sky Limited is no longer licensed to operate a gaming premises or casino in Belize, and that all operations of the company must cease and desist. The release also urged the public to refrain from conducting business transactions with the company. GMK Sky Limited operated Caribe Blue Casino in San Pedro and Burgess Key. The casino made news last year after it was reported to have been operating an ATM that dispensed U.S. currency, which is illegal. At the time, the head of the company, Rima Ray, a U.S. citizen, was simply ordered to desist operating the machine and to attend a money laundering training session. The revocation of the license to operate in Belize is believed to have come following Ray's arrest after a U.S. investigation linked him to illegal gambling operations in Florida. The Belize Premier Basketball League, BPBL, in its inaugural season is going overboard with an exciting lineup of activities that begin as early as tomorrow, Tuesday, with a free All-Star Kids Summer Basketball Camp. BPBL Public Relations Representative Terry Gordon shared the details of what can be expected at the Belize City Civic Center.
Tomorrow, Tuesday, from as early as 12:30 in the afternoon, right up until 4 o'clock, all our stars will be out to shine. Okay, we're talking about 12 from each division, because you have the Toucan and the Mayan division. Okay, you have the Tony Leslie Mayan division and the Santiago Castillo Senior Toucan division. Okay, both of these are sporting 12 players. From the Toucan side, from the Mayan side, we have representations from Belize City Thunderbolts and the two Kaya team, namely Kaya Western Ballers and the Belmopan Capital City Kings. All right, from the other division now, from the Toucan side, that is San Cas Toucan division, we have representations from the league leaders, San Pedro Tiger Sharks, as well as we have from Corozal Cerros Suns and the two southern teams, Punta Gorda Panthers and the Easy Investments Dangriga Dream Ballers. That's how the league is made up. 2 divisions, 2 cups, 1 big championship for the Benes Jaguar Cup. But right now, like I mentioned, in its inaugural season, we're throwing off with this All-Star Weekend starting off tomorrow at the Civic Center, when these primetime players representing both of the divisions will be out there talking to the kids, showing them a little bit of things on the finer points of basketball and even the basics. All right. So it's an opportunity to bring your kids out anywhere from ages 5 to 15, meet with the players and find out how they do their thing.
All children will receive a free pass to the big All-Star game that happens on Friday. But before that, there will be 3 events, each on Thursday and Friday, beginning at 7:30 p.m.
We have the Mirage Belize multi-skills challenge, which is where you have players doing different things, showing off their skills, like dribbling through the cone, shooting the ball through a little hoop, and then taking it up and go take it to the rack and take a shot. All right. The one who does it the quickest wins the Mirage Belize championship title, and it's $300 and a sneaker, a tennis shoe of your choice. All right. You could choose your own one from Mirage Belize. Then we go on to the celebrities game. This is what everybody is looking forward to. So these 2 divisions as well. So representing the Tony Leslie Mayan team is going to be Dion Leslie, the son of Tony himself. He's the captain of the team. Okay, yes. And he has quite a few talents that he is bringing to the table to spruce things up. We have the Honorable Louis Zabane, from Dangriga. We got Leroy Banner, he's an attorney at law. We got the mayor himself, Bernard Wagner, all right. The commissioner of the BPBL, Mr. Claudia Leal, Indira I.C. Craig, I wonder who she is. Anybody knows? Wani Arzu, who is an influencer, DJ Dutch, who needs no introduction, T.Y., the paper, the lyrical Don, Kenny Morgan, LT, Chosen Kid, and this team is going to be coached by one of the deputies of the league, Amir Garcia, okay? The other team now, headed, that is Ancas Toucan team, headed, this is going to be where Santino is coming out to represent Daddy, okay? And so he's going to be the captain of the team, and he is bringing with him Honorable Kareem Musa. He's bringing Senior Counsel Andrew Marshall-Lake, Sherwin Shilling Garcia, Dr. Richard Rosado, the new compol, Sabrina Daly, who's also in the news. We have Chris Alpuche, El Toxico. Yeah, the influencer, all right? We have DJ Solo Green, still the artist, Tyrone Anthony, our comedian. We've got Hubie, also the clown, and this team is going to be coached by another deputy of the BPBL, and that's Francis Arzu.
The All-Star teams have agreed that a portion of their proceeds from the game to be donated to 2 children's homes. The grand prize is $3,000, sponsored by The Department Store. Also on Thursday, there will be a Rising Stars match for ballers under 21 and a celebrity match. Friday's events start out with a Power Stout 3-point contest, with the winner receiving $500 and 2 cases of Rude Boy. There will also be a Cellular World Dunk contest. Tickets are for $25 courtside, $15 VIP, and $10 for high schoolers. Ticket sales begin at 10 a.m. on Thursday and Friday at the Civic Center. A package of games for the 2 nights include a discount of $10. The Police Force Department has announced a new hotline where residents can report suspicious activities in the forested areas across the country. The new hotline is 610-1524. Residents are encouraged to report issues that relate to illegal logging, forest fires, wildlife trafficking, wildlife abuse, human-wildlife conflict, and encroachment or unauthorized mangrove clearing. The Forest Department notes that the service is available 24/7 and assures residents that reports are anonymous and confidential. A San Pedro man, 18-year-old Zail Kaliz, has been detained after allegedly attacking his cousin, 22-year-old Evira Alford. The incident occurred on Thursday when Alford was visiting her aunt in the San Pedrito area of San Pedro. According to Alford, Kaliz arrived later on and began to verbally abuse her, then chased her from the residence, slapped her across the face, and threatened to kill her. Kaliz was quickly detained by police. Alford was taken to the polyclinic for treatment. Her injuries were classified as harm. Police are investigating. Belize Electricity Limited has reported acting quickly on a complaint made by a resident of the Faubourg Road area in Belize City. A rotten lamppost was in danger of falling at any moment on her home, as it was already leaning in the direction of the house. She reported that she had been to the company and filed a complaint in writing, but nothing had been done. Once we brought it to BEL's attention, the complaint was forwarded to customer service, which immediately acted on the issue. The company also indicated that they are assessing if other lampposts in the area may be similarly compromised. And women across the country continue to benefit from cell phone repair workshops. On Friday, Minister Drea Garcia Ramirez said that the women have gained a lot of knowledge as well as confidence as they learn a new trade.
It's truly gratifying to see how the women have really come into their own, how they've gained that confidence. Women that sometimes not all of them have a lot of formal education, but have been able to, really learn using a hands-on experience. Our instructor, of course, is so very good and has been kind enough to travel the country with us. So I really just very grateful that they took a chance on us, that our partners took a chance on them, and that it all worked out. I truly believe in empowering women in the tech and tech repair field, because I believe that it's non-traditional, and something like this really gives them the opportunity to earn more, earn greater than some of the traditional fields like agriculture or agro-processing. And it's really been just a huge testament to the resilience of women, to the fact that they are an untapped economic powerhouse of this country, that I think this government has truly seen it and seen them and is willing to invest in them.
Garcia Ramirez said that an advanced training session was offered to select individuals who completed the initial program, and added that the advanced training may be extended to other parts of the country as well.
The pilot program was in Corozal and Orange Rock, and so that happened last year. And because it was so successful, then the Ministry of Investment, and through a partnership with the government and people of Taiwan, rolled it out across the country, because everybody was calling the Ministry of Investment and asking, so when is this coming here? And so they found the funds, and I believe that if there is more interest in this second and advanced course, then I'm sure they will have to find the funds somehow to take it across.
And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on the station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the news. And remember, you can always catch up with the day's top stories on our YouTube channel and Facebook page under XTV Belize. And you can watch the evening news live on our XTV BHNI app. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.